Nowhere is the responsibility of caring for others more in evidence than in our nation's hospitals. As a member of the housekeeping staff in any medical care facility, you are in the forefront of the effort to prevent the spread of contagious diseases and infections from patients to other patients, to visitors, or to employees. Your role is as important as that of any other member of the medical community. The effectiveness of your efforts can mean the difference between health and illness, life or death, for those who enter this facility for treatment. Your most common chore will be cleaning patient rooms, either occupied or terminal. Here, as in all housekeeping functions, the first step is to arrive at the job with all needed equipment and supplies. Whenever possible, these should be ready to use immediately and will include a plastic pail, rubber gloves, a scrub sponge, wastebasket liners, toilet tissue, hand soap, paper towels, cleaning cloths, clean duster heads, large plastic liners, clean dust mop heads, a dust mop handle, dustpan and pickup brush, a commode mop, germicidal detergent concentrate, a mail-order counteractant, a high dusting tool, and a canvas trash bag with liner. Note that this worker is putting on rubber gloves, which should always be worn for cleaning operations to protect your skin from problems caused by cleaning materials and potentially harmful bacteria encountered during performance of your job. The first thing to do on arriving at the room is to knock gently on the door. The patient may be asleep, have visitors, or may be bathing. Go on to another room, being sure to return to this one later. When you enter the room, introduce yourself to the patient with a pleasant smile. Then go on about your business. Do not discuss the patient's illness or start a conversation. Begin by picking up any loose trash. Place it in the wastebasket, tie the top of the liner, and remove it from the basket by its top, as there could be needles in the bag which might cause serious injury. Install a new liner in the basket. Deposit the trash and the contents of ashtrays in the container on your housekeeping cart. Be sure to check the ashtray for hot ashes before it is emptied. Wipe ashtrays with a cloth dampened with germicidal solution before returning them to their proper locations. The next step is high dusting all hard-to-reach surfaces with a high dusting mop which has been dampened with a germicidal solution. This includes such things as the top of doors, overhead air vents, Venetian blinds, and overbed light fixtures. In occupied rooms, you may be instructed to bypass the light fixture if the patient is in bed. When high dusting is completed, return the high dusting tool to your cart. Dip a wiping cloth into the pail of germicidal solution and wring it out. Fold it in both directions. As each surface becomes soiled, refold it to a clean surface. It is best to use the same cleaning system in all areas to avoid missing anything. A right-handed person will be more comfortable working counterclockwise, while a left-hander will work in the other direction. Dust all horizontal surfaces carefully. Remember that little nooks and crannies make great hiding places for bacteria. Be sure to ask the patient's permission before moving personal items for dusting, and do return them to the same position. Wipe the overbed table, taking care when moving the patient's belongings. Being careful to avoid shaking the bed, raise the bed rails and wipe them thoroughly. Dust the bedside table, again taking care when handling the patient's personal items. Give the phone special attention. The handset, especially the mouthpiece, is a natural breeding ground for potentially harmful bacteria. Go on around the room until the rest of the dusting has been completed. Place the soiled dusting cloth in a plastic bag on your cart for later laundering. Using a clean treated dust mop, start in a corner farthest from the door and carefully dust mop the floor, taking care to avoid jostling the occupied bed. In open areas, you will probably find it easiest to use the S-stroke, working your way constantly toward the door. Do not lift or shake the mop until the debris has been removed from the room. Then lift the mop only a few inches off the floor and shake it gently to avoid spreading dust. Pick up the sweepings with the dustpan and pickup brush, depositing them in the waste container on your cart, returning all equipment to its proper location on the cart. The restroom is next. For this, you will need a small pail of germicidal solution, a commode mop or brush, a scrub sponge, and a cleaning cloth. After filling soap and paper dispensers, dip the sponge in the germicide solution and wring it out. Wipe off the light, the mirror and shelf, the soap and towel dispensers, and the wall around the sink. Use a dry cloth or paper towel to polish the mirror. Dip the sponge again, wringing it only slightly. Use the scrubber side to clean the basin, starting with the fixtures. Then the inside and the outside edge. Move down to the underside, then to the pipes below and the adjacent wall area. When this has been completed, use a dry cloth or paper towel to polish the metal fixtures. And don't forget those pipes. Use the same supplies and procedures to clean the tub or shower. Then move on to the commode. After raising the seat, use the brush or mop to lower the water level. Pour a small amount of concentrated germicide on the commode mop and scrub the inside of the fixture, beginning under the rim and working down. Dip the sponge in the germicide solution and wash any adjacent fixtures, the flush valve and pipes, both sides of the seat, and the outside of the commode. Do not be concerned about spilling solution on the floor, since mopping will be the final procedure. Finish the job by drying the flush valve, the pipes, and the top of the seat with a dry cloth or paper towel. Pour the remaining solution in the commode and flush. Then, use the sponge to remove any noticeable spots from the walls, door, and door frame. With the restroom cleaning completed, return the equipment to the housekeeping cart. The final step in patient room cleaning is mopping the floor. Dip a mop in the mop pail, which contains a germicide solution. Wring it fairly dry. Enter the room and go to the corner farthest from the door to begin mopping. By holding the mop handle correctly, with one hand at the top and the other about halfway down, you can mop a large area quickly with a minimum of effort. Again, be careful not to jostle the occupied bed while mopping under it. When space permits, use the figure-8 stroke for faster and more effective mopping. You should return to the mop tank to rinse the mop at least twice per room. The germicide and the mop head should be changed every 3 or 4 rooms. You may also be instructed to replace the mop head on a similar frequency. When you have mopped your way to the doorway, the job in this room is complete. You are ready to move on to the next room. There are a few additional procedures to add to terminal or vacant room cleaning. For example, the overbed light can be damp dusted along with the rest of the dusting, and the bed will receive a lot more attention. Using your germicide dipped cloth, begin by wiping off the top and the sides of the mattress cover. With this accomplished, fold up one end of the mattress and wipe the cover on the underside. Wipe the springs or mattress support, the lower frame, the foot and headboards, the side rails. In other words, be sure to give attention to all those areas you were unable to clean regularly while the room was occupied. After finishing at one end, follow the same procedure at the other end of the bed. The bedside table will need special attention as well. The inside of the cabinet requires thorough cleaning. Patients will often keep food items in this drawer, as well as other personal items which may have left behind unwelcome bacteria. You may also be instructed to remove drapes or other items in the room which may require special cleaning procedures. Now, let's review the basic patient room cleaning procedures. In the occupied patient room, we have removed trash and replaced basket liners, emptied and cleaned ashtrays, with a high duster dampened with germicide solution, high dusted vents, door tops, and other dust collecting surfaces beyond arm's reach. Damp dusted furniture and other lower level horizontal surfaces using a germicide dampened cloth. Dust mopped the floor with a treated dust mop. Cleaned the bathroom fixtures with a germicide solution and filled soap and paper dispensers. Damp mopped the patient room and bathroom floors using a clean mop and germicide solution, and we have performed all these tasks while being constantly attentive to the patient's comfort and well-being. During terminal cleaning, we have washed the entire bed and mattress with germicide solution, washed the drawers and insides of tables and cabinets, and, if instructed to do so, we have removed drapes or cubicle curtains for cleaning. Finally, no program pertaining to hospitals would be complete without placing special emphasis on hand washing. The human hand is perhaps the most common bacteria transmitter in existence. In the course of your daily duties, your hands will come in contact with a variety of contaminants, any number of which may be potentially harmful to you and to others. Therefore, it is vitally important that you wash your hands with the recommended antiseptic hand soap several times daily, particularly after handling trash and linens. That's right, linens are notorious for harboring bacteria of all types, and the patients who have been using them have a variety of illnesses and infections which you can readily acquire or pass along to others. Keep this in mind as you go through the day. Spend a minute or two several times daily with that soap and hand brush. Protect yourself and those with whom you come in contact from unwanted and very avoidable illness. As you go about your daily duties, keep in mind the importance of the job you are doing. You are the first-line troops in preventing transmittal of cross-infections to the inhabitants of this facility. Think, act, talk, and perform your daily tasks with the pride that goes with being a professional.